The following was recorded in front of a live studio audience at the Studio 21 Podcast Café. This is the United Podcast Network.
If you're building or buying or selling a home, the Real Estate Crew's got news for you at the Real Estate House Party.
With attorney Rick Carter,
Real Estate House Party.
paralegal Kathy Holtshouser,
Real Estate House Party. Come in, have fun.
and comedian Tony V. Now, here's real estate attorney Rick Carter.
Got this?
Yes, I do.
Okay.
Thanks for interrupting before starting anything. Chrissy, do I sound a little loud? I don't want to be too loud in these. Welcome, first of all, to Real Estate House Party.
No, am I loud enough?
Yeah, you're loud enough. Don't worry about that.
Who can tell we had 3 weeks off?
We're fired up, ready to go. And we got Tony. Tony V has a bunch of shows coming up.
I'm gonna play the
I gotta wait
drums all
though
night.
to let you all know
So,
about this.
hang on one second. Last week, Chrissy and was it you that decided to put our first podcast ever up for last week?
Yeah, I wanted
And
to
the
put one of
snows-
your early ones up.
It was our first one.
How do
And,
we look?
We looked younger,
Didn't we all?
but this is Tony.
He's come a
I
long
thought it was
way
great.
now that he
And
knows
me and
all
you
his
are looking at each other. We look nervous. Rick Nazzaro's like, "Hey,
Could have
everybody."
looked nervous. We had done it
No,
for
we're
4
like this.
years.
No, we just
We did the radio.
We
I
did
know.
the radio. That's
I know.
it's different though.
Yeah, I
But
guess.
we did look a little nervous. I kept looking at you and kind of giggling, like, "Oh my God,
Right.
what if I swear? Or what if I say something?"
Well, look, the beauty of podcasting is you can swear.
That's
as you
right.
know
That's
from
right.
me. Yeah.
That's right. That's right.
GFY.
Yeah.
So look how far we've come. Now we're so
Yeah.
natural
Now
out
we're
here.
all like, yeah.
Now we're doing what Tony does.
Just another.
Yeah, I was just
another,
laughing at Tony's face because he's literally
Just
like this.
another podcast.
He doesn't react to anything. He just sits there like this.
Just waiting to get a line in. That's all. Where can I put some foolishness?
We purposely didn't have any guests on today, so
That's good.
So we could hear some of your
We
foolishness.
don't need
there.
anybody.
We don't need
No,
anyone. We don't need
We
anyone.
don't need
there.
no stinking guests.
That's a great name for a special. Just where can I put some foolishness? Just putting that out there.
Yeah, it's nice.
Oh, I thought.
Copyright that for your next
allow me
show.
to-
I thought you liked the line. We don't need any stinking guests.
Yes.
Oh, that's good too.
That's
right?
good too. Yeah.
We like guests every once in a while, but
guests.
sometimes I like to just be with you
Yeah, it's
guys.
just us,
Right,
the
right.
core group.
Right.
Yeah.
Exactly.
The
Way
engine.
back.
Yep, you guys
Nope.
make my Tuesday every single Tuesday.
She actually comes into work.
That's you got to have an incentive for something.
I know.
You should tell her we do the podcast 5 days a
Every
week.
day. We're doing another podcast. I'll be
All
right
right,
there.
I'll be there. I'll be there. So look at all the notes I have for today.
I'm
too.
so excited.
is gonna
Did
be
you-
so
I don't
great.
think you gave me all the notes. You wanted me to be surprised.
I should have gave you all the notes.
I don't see
I sent them to Chrissy today without an attachment.
Yeah.
It's pretty hard to.
Oh,
Mirror.
it's like
He's like,
taking.
here's the notes. I'm like,
I know.
oh, that's.
I was so proud of myself
Yeah.
for doing it too. So.
I just thought that was like. I thought it was a funny joke.
I went to see Bruce Springsteen last
You
night.
did.
I was
Yeah.
thinking of
How
going.
was
How
it?
was it?
Yeah, it was good.
Yeah.
He always puts on a
I
great
know.
show. Yeah.
How long
it was
do you-
a show worthy of an elder statesman of rock and roll.
Yeah, yeah.
So
How long do you
just
play
straight
for?
ahead. About 3 hours.
Yeah, yeah.
little
Right,
shy.
really?
Little shy of that. Yeah,
Yeah.
But it was good.
the last time I saw him in Fenway.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it was very political. Like
Yeah,
it
yeah,
was-
yeah.
And I didn't care for it at all. He didn't play any of his good stuff. And
Right.
it was very
He goes through-
disappointing.
Well, what
Moments
Bruce
with
does
everybody
is he
else.
playing any more shows at the Garden?
He's doing Foxborough
Right.
later on in the summer. I know that. So I don't know.
Oh, because he
that he's-
canceled
So you
Foxborough.
know Bruce's strategy. Bruce is kind of like the Grateful Dead. They don't play all their songs, and they like to. I guess they have such a book
Yeah.
work. They kind of bring it out for 3 or 4 days.
Yeah, and
so
then-
you can go to each day,
and it's different.
It's a whole different show.
Yeah, I went back to back when he was at Fenway.
Yeah.
He did 2 nights, and I went to both shows, and they were completely different.
Yeah, and I went
shows
to
and
the.
temperament.
I
Yeah.
went to the yuckier of the
Yeah,
two.
the second show was less so. And more
Right.
rocky.
It was a little bit,
Yeah,
bit.
yeah.
Even his shows, like, and I guess all Bruce Springsteen, the real fans know this. Evidently, his first part of the show is always kind of like a warm up type of thing, and kind of feeling out process.
Yeah, yeah.
And then the second half, that's when he really
just
kicks it in.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Right.
Yeah,
So-
it was. I'm a diehard fan, so
Yeah. Same.
it was very. It was good.
What's your favorite song?
He played Trapped last
Oh,
night,
I
which
love
is
that
one of my
song.
faves. And,
Wow.
That is one
you know,
of my
he did
favorites.
some old stuff and new
He did
stuff.
Thunder
and
Road.
He did Thunder Road.
I love that
yeah,
song.
He did Rosalita. And
Oh, I
Kitty's
love
Back.
that. Yeah.
Rosalita's great
Yeah,
live.
Johnny 99, which is a favorite of mine as well. And
You know what?
Then he
A
did,
lot of his. Oh, I'm sorry. Go
Go ahead.
No, I'm saying a lot of songs. And I shouldn't say this. I love some of his cover songs. He's just such a good, such a good band.
Yeah, he did Night Shift.
Oh,
which is
yeah.
the Marvin.
Yeah.
It's great.
That's a great song.
Yeah, yeah,
Working on the night shift.
Yeah, it was great. It was.
Do you know that
good.
he, at one point in his career, opened up for Janis Joplin?
No. Bonnie Raitt.
Oh, Bonnie Raitt. That's what I meant. Were you there?
I was there.
Wow.
At the Harvard Square movie theater.
Isn't that funny?
And that was the night that John Landau saw him, and the quote, "I've seen the future of rock and roll."
Oh, so that was
and its
it?
name is Bruce Springsteen. It was that show.
That's
Yeah.
Like
crazy.
74, 75.
74, 75.
Yeah,
But he
somewhere
was
around
also, wasn't he just like a no name down in Jersey?
Yeah, I mean, he used to play around here a lot. Don't get me going down the Springsteen rabbit hole because I'll talk all night. But I saw his first show here ever, which was at just outside of Fenway, which was the Cask and Flagon at
yeah.
the time. And there were 19 people in the audience.
Wow.
And the show he put on for 19 people was just insane. I mean, he had tubas on stage, and it was just madness.
Was he with the East Street Band?
Yeah, it was
at
the
that-
same. It was
yeah.
the same thing, but in a space, that couldn't tolerate that,
Right.
and he
Right.
just blew the place apart. And I became an instant fan then, and I saw him many times around here. There used to be a place in Emmons Square, Cambridge, called Joe's Place, and he'd play there. Outside of Jersey, Boston was where he played
Okay.
a lot. Saw him at Salem State, saw him at UMass.
Wow.
Saw him, countless places in the early days before.
70s
80 is when
80s.
80 is when it really, was the
Well, he picked up Clarence Clemens.
and
Yeah.
all of that. Yeah, they were, it was
Does Clarence's son play?
his nephew, Jake.
Nephew, okay.
Yeah.
Plays
Yeah.
the.
He's very good too.
Yeah, he's very
Plays
good.
the saxophone, right?
Saxophone
Yeah.
sounds just like
I
his
thought it
uncle.
was his son, but
yeah,
it's his nephew.
It's his
okay.
nephew, Jake.
You know who's
And
really good too is Niels Lofgren.
Niels Lofgren is eventually is going to come out on stage, and you're just going to see feet coming out of a hat. That man is all hat. he had a hat on last night that was just, you couldn't stop looking at the hat. You go,
What did it look like?
It was like a Mad Hatter hat.
Oh, yeah, I can picture it.
Yeah. And it had like a white stripe, like a skunk stripe down the middle, and I go, man, that dude's all hat.
He still wants because he used to be his own front man, and
Yeah, yeah.
I think he still wants to still be that because he's the one who's actually dances around a lot and gyrates a lot. on
He
stage.
used to do a flip.
I know.
He used to do a standing flip
Wow.
When was that? 'Cause I
while
think
playing the guitar.
Yeah.
I feel like I remember that.
Yeah. That was part of the show in the 80s
I know he used to
and
spin
stuff.
around all the time too.
I like your hat, Rick.
Yeah.
Was
Oh, you
that
like
from
that?
one of the Charlestown
That's
races?
right. That's why I run.
Nice.
Yep.
For the hat.
To get the hat.
To get
all
the
in
hat.
it for the hat. We're all.
I thought they said rum.
So
Anyway.
It was
should we
good.
do some?
Yeah, let's get some
material?
real estate in
since you
here
put in
because
some-
there's a lot going on.
There's
Oh
a
my
lot.
God, there's a lot
Yeah, the
going on.
Fed is up there. It's nasty
God.
tricks. Banks are going south.
Yep.
The whole
Yep.
thing's
It's a mess.
it's a shit show.
It's a mess.
This is the thing that I find the most interesting is that wasn't really that was an aberration that the rates were so low during COVID, but that was kind of like by design to keep things going, right? It was
Yeah.
it was
Yeah,
like
yeah.
a perfect storm, right?
Kind of kept the world going when the real estate was
so
going so well.
I think that like people they want to see it go back into the twos.
Right,
That's
but it's
not
not
gonna
going to happen for a
happen.
while.
No, not for a
And
long
honestly,
while.
like you can't sit around and
Right.
wait for
Wait,
the
right,
interest rate
right,
to go down.
right.
It's not going to go down below
it's
4.5 or 5.
Right. It's gambling. It's like a reverse pyramid scheme almost. Do I wait and hope it comes down, or do I suck it up and do 6,
Right.
and a quarter?
So this is the thing. I just read an article about it. It's like it's stupid to wait because you don't know what the future is,
Right.
and you could be waiting 10 years to buy a house and paying all that rent.
I think it's a great time to buy now.
Yes.
When rates are up, when all our parents bought, they bought when it's 14, 15%,
Right.
but they're buying houses for $25,000. Rates came down, prices skyrocketed.
Right. So it's even money.
Right.
Basically.
Yeah.
Now, here's a rudimentary question, and I mean this sincerely.
Yeah.
If you buy and your rate's at 6 and change, right? And then 5 years from now, the rates go down to 3 something or high 2s. Do you lose money?
No, you just refinance.
You just refinance.
So whatever money you've paid,
Right.
and you
But
lose
when
that.
you, at the sale of the house, you wouldn't lose any equity or money or.
You will never
No.
lose equity.
Right.
Yeah, it's
because
almost a whole different.
It's
It's, yeah, it's
apples and
apples and
oranges.
oranges.
Apples and
Yeah,
oranges.
yeah.
So you don't lose anything by buying and then hanging onto your house.
The
No.
only
Yeah.
reason you lose
Ever.
money is if not that the interest rates fluctuate,
Right.
is if the prices of houses come down, which
Right,
is
right.
what happened in
That happened in
2008,
2008.
Right.
which is
because everybody maxed out their equity in their homes.
Right.
Because the values were supposedly so high.
High, right.
So they were like refinancing,
And 100%
buying,
financing.
cash out,
Right.
getting a boat,
Right.
refinancing the home to buy a cottage, refinancing to go on vacation.
Right.
So some of that stuff was not like they weren't refinancing to put an addition on the house. It was kind of like funny money. at that,
Right. It was just like, let's have a lavish lifestyle.
And
would have
when you-
worked if prices kept
But
going
you know,
up.
I also think the pandemic has changed people's priorities. I
Yeah.
mean, people realize that life's finite,
Yeah.
and you got to
No, you're
live. You know what I mean?
You're right.
We're seeing it in the job market.
Yep.
Where people no longer wanting to be beholden to a company that's going to jettison them at the first blush of trouble.
Right.
Right.
So I think people's priorities have changed.
No, you're absolutely right.
And I think that has changed the job market tremendously.
Sure.
Like people don't want to when we were, working on our careers, and we used to work 80, 90, 100 hours a week, and we didn't really think anything of it, did we?
Right.
Right.
But now you
Right.
have a whole new set of people coming in, employees that are like,
No, 9 to 5.
I'm not going to give you any more than
More
40 hours.
Then I have to, right.
And I used to judge people when,
Right.
like, Rick would hire someone and they would walk out the door at 5 o'clock, and I'm like, where do they think they're going? We still have 4 hours more work to do, But now I kind of appreciate people wanting to
Have a
keep
life.
their private time.
Yeah.
Yeah, the
Yeah.
world has changed.
Yeah,
Right.
yeah. Let's, to sum up, the message in this podcast: live every day like it's Caligula's birthday.
Yes.
That's exactly how you have to, because you don't know what tomorrow's going to bring.
Right. And you should find a boss that gives you more than 2 weeks vacation.
Yeah,
Wow.
yeah.
And treats every day like Caligula's birthday.
And treat every day like Caligula's
Do
birthday.
you? Do you?
That's how our office is run.
Yeah, sure. Sure, and you want to find an employee who wants to
who
work
enjoys.
two weeks every 6 months.
Oh, that you're
Right.
going to talk about Caligula's birthday.
No,
That might be difficult, but you could look.
yeah. But I think you get the point.
I get the point.
Yeah.
I get the point.
You got
yes.
your point across.
Yeah.
I know.
Yeah.
So with all that being said,
Yeah.
one of the problems first of all, I'm going to introduce ourselves. Case we might have this as part of some of our seminars.
With Caligula in
No,
Yeah.
no. Starting at 13:30 on, we're going to cut all that stuff before that.
Right.
So right now, welcome to the Real Estate House Party. We got Kathy Holtshouser and Tony V.
Oh,
I
hello.
came to work today.
Yeah.
So we are going to talk about what brokers can do to maybe think outside the box to get more listings. Here's the problem, as we are talking about beforehand.
Right.
Listings are just it's impossible to get. When you think about it, someone who has a house in the 2s
Right.
are finding it very hard to now buy something else in the 6s.
Sure, there's 4 in between there.
Exactly.
Yeah. that ain't nothing, my
But
friend.
actually, there's so many people that are either going to relocate
Right.
to the Carolinas or Florida.
Right.
And they don't know where they're going to land somewhere
Right,
down there.
right,
So
right.
they're selling their house and then taking their money.
So it's a good point. So we always hear this, well, I don't want to sell my house because I have nowhere to go.
right.
Because there's no listings out there. So, but there's an element out there, as you say, that need to sell no matter what.
Right.
So maybe we'll talk about
The element
today.
that, so the other thing is, as we get older,
Yep.
we're getting older, right?
Yep.
I don't know how many people in their 60s or 70s that want to be a slave to their yard or have to clean their house, have
Yeah.
to pay for a new roof, if you've been there a long time. Or
I'm getting there. I know exactly what you're talking about.
And
I'm the
it's almost
smallest
like,
yard around. I got a landscaper do
Yeah.
it. Takes them 8 minutes.
Yeah.
so what people forget is like all the money that you put into maintaining a
Your house, yeah.
And then you look at it and you say, I just spent my entire weekend maintaining my house
Yeah.
that I'm supposed to be enjoying.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah,
So-
well, you look at my case. I have rental property.
Yeah.
I have
Which
two,
is a full-time
two apartments.
job, right?
It's my drawer broke. It's like, all right, it's an old drawer. I got to get them fixed, but I don't want to put the money into it
Right,
to
right,
get everything
right.
done. So, I'm gluing and sticking things together to keep my tenant,
somewhat happy.
And it
Have you had most of the
becomes a
same
drive.
tenants over the years?
We tend to keep tenants for long periods of time. I've only had a couple of clunkers.
Yeah.
The people I have in there now, I love.
Well,
they're
you're
good
owner
people.
occupied.
Yeah, I'm owner
so-
occupied.
So that makes a huge difference.
So you do a
yes.
show for them every Friday night, right?
On my
entertain.
stoop.
Right.
On the
Just on my stoop.
Right.
People
Ed
come by
Sullivan
and
might engineer for you.
Yeah,
and,
yeah.
Exactly. So,
But I sit on my stoop and smoke a cigar, and people come by
I
and we
imagine
chat.
Tony V as your landlord.
Yeah.
I love that.
Yeah.
I got another joke for you, Tony.
Yeah. This is what happens in the summer in my house when the windows are open.
Yeah.
You'll walk by and, there'll be people with guests or whatever, and someone will walk by the house and go, oh, and this is Tony V's house, and someone will inevitably go, who the hell is Tony V? And I'm just on the other side of the wall laughing.
That's me.
It's me.
Can I ask you a personal question?
Please do.
Does your wife still think you're funny?
I mean, personally, she does, but she's so past comedy in general.
Okay. But
People
do you make her laugh all day long?
Not
or-
all day.
Yeah.
But, I have my moments.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
I can't see Mrs. V just giggling all day long.
No, she's not a giggler, that one. No. She's like a lot of comics. Occasionally, I'll get that's funny.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
At least you
okay.
get that. Or
Yeah,
my house-
once in a while we'll
my
get a
house is
Billy
it.
laugh.
You're not that funny.
No.
Keep your day
no.
job.
So that's why he calls me, because I laugh at everything.
You laugh. You laugh. You guys make me
But
laugh. So.
but also you laugh at all my stupid
Yeah, it's
jokes.
absolutely. It's a give and take
Right.
exactly there. So Tony, I'll laugh. I just listen to his voicemail. It makes me laugh. What's your latest there? And go teach the world to sing.
Go teach the world to sing. Yeah. I like to be positive. I'm a positive
Very
thinker.
positive.
I like that. I might use that.
If you're calling me, yeah.
Yeah. I don't even know what it is anymore.
All right. So now we're going to start our real estate show. Chrissy's looking at the time now. 18 minutes in.
So 10, go.
Go. All right. I got my top.
I had a legitimate question. Don't drag me in here.
Do you have any other questions?
No.
Nothing?
No,
Good.
I'm blank.
We're just happy you
Yeah, I
you
just
shut
got
up.
I got white noise up there now.
Yeah.
You got Aruba coming up.
I do. I'm going to Aruba very
For how
soon.
long?
About 10 days, 10 or 11 days.
Oh.
Yeah, it's got to get done.
Is Christine going with you?
No, Robert Kelly. And,
Nice. I know Robert Kelly from
yeah.
comics.
Quiet little guy.
Yeah.
Yeah, quiet little guy is the operative
He
word.
lost about 100 pounds.
He did.
Did he?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
He's a funny guy.
Yeah. It's great hanging with him too.
Yeah. He's a Medford guy.
He is a Medford guy.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
Awesome.
And you're going with a New Yorker?
And a woman from New York, Levine, I believe is her last
right.
name. I have never worked with her, but
Hey,
it's good. It's the
interesting,
last 6 shows of the season.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Why?
Because he doesn't do them year round because.
There's stuff to do in the. Yeah.
Well, no, I mean, it's a tourist place, and
Yeah.
and people go to Aruba in the winter,
Yeah.
not so much in the summer. He'll
Yeah.
do a couple shows, like 4
In
or
May.
5 weeks in June into July or July.
And that's
August.
it.
That's it, and then he takes September, October off because it's the rainy season and
Yeah.
not a lot of tourism, and then he'll start up around Thanksgiving.
Who else is slated for this year?
We're the end of it, so I don't know
okay.
who he's got coming. But, yeah, Joe Lister's been there. Really funny guy. He gets good shows.
Yeah.
Good.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, well, he has you
Yes.
and Christine,
That's
so
enough,
I
yeah.
can't imagine that they
Yep.
wouldn't be good. All right, go.
Now we're into our 20th minute.
Stop it. You just wasted another minute.
All right, so we'll have to be quick here. So So the premise is to try to think outside the box. How can listing agents?
How do agents get listings?
Normally,
Let's start there.
Normally, they get it like word of mouth.
Right.
Someone has sold.
It's very neighborhoody.
Yeah,
It's very
neighborhoody. Right.
Like you had a good experience
Which
with
is actually
a person.
that's actually a good one. They should use that more. What I would do is try to use neighborhood parties to try to get more listings. So if you're listing some house, a 4:00 show, open house, get the neighbors in around 3:45.
Or even at 3:30 and have
3:30,
everybody like
right.
yuck it
so
up.
So the place
and-
looks like it's packed, and I would also show them what you've done in the past. For listings, drones.
Yeah.
Sometimes, though, even if you have the greatest resume and sometimes real estate agents and sellers don't, they just don't mix.
Right.
Yeah.
Personality.
From
Clash.
no fault of either
Yeah.
party.
Not
They
your
just
cup
have
of
different.
tea.
Yeah.
Like, so a laid back real estate agent and a laid back guy or woman might mesh better than someone really high strung.
Right. So who's high powered and pressuring. Yeah.
Pressure, right.
You know what I've been hearing more lately is people advertising staging
Right.
on the radio. Like I
really?
hear ads for, if you're selling your house, you need to be staged, and we do this.
Okay.
We'll use your furniture, we'll use ours. But,
okay.
and that's a thing we
what's
started
happening
talking
is
about a long time ago.
When the real estate community slows down, it trickles down. All the vendors are slowed down now too. So
everybody's kind of trying to think
outside the box.
Yeah, I
Right,
think outside the
exactly.
box.
To tie it back in.
As
Right.
Yeah.
are
Right.
we.
Yeah.
we're thinking of doing ads ourselves. Try to have them call us, and we can give them nice sage advice before they even try to list their house.
Oh,
I
yeah.
would imagine.
That's
Yeah.
a great idea.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We're coming up with some outside the box, really cool ideas that
Right.
we're going to roll out next month.
Does it ever just bottom out completely?
No, not around here.
No. Right? I mean, there's always,
buy
especially
and sell.
on the lawyer side of things.
Right.
Once the transaction happens, that's when, or as the transactions happen,
yeah.
and that's when
Yeah.
lawyers are most important,
Yeah.
right, to guide you.
Right.
Yep.
Right.
Yep. Exactly.
But
so,
then once one closes, another one's coming in. Like, you know what I mean? It's
Right.
kind of a
right.
It's like
you
a
know,
wave.
Yeah. The one thing that's hurting this market right now is the low inventory.
Right.
So
And is that regional, or is that all
I
over
actually
the country?
think it's all over the country.
Right.
all over the
okay.
country.
Right.
Yep.
Yep.
The last stat I heard was there were 1,000 houses for sale in the state of New Hampshire.
In all of New
The whole
Hampshire.
state.
All of New
Well,
Hampshire.
if you told me there were 1,000 houses in all of New Hampshire, I would take you to task on that. So
Anyway, so that,
I haven't seen them.
so it is low inventory, but I
Right.
think like some towns, like Reading, like a couple weeks ago, had 8 houses on the market
No,
or
not
3.
even.
Right.
I know.
Yeah.
I know. What some brokers are doing, I tread a little lightly on this. They're going to looking at probates to see who has passed away.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah. Yeah.
Well, there's thinking outside,
There's
literally
thinking
outside the box. Go to
Or
a wake.
inside the box.
Go to a wake.
Can I tell you what not to do? You guys are movie buffs. I know Ed Sullivan is there.
Yeah.
The Verdict. You ever see The Verdict?
Oh, sure.
You ever see The Verdict?
Did I?
Paul Newman.
Paul Newman goes into Ed Sullivan's not his head. He knows it. Goes into a funeral.
Yeah.
And pretends he pays off the director to go in.
Right.
So we're not advising brokers to do this.
Right.
So he goes in, pays the director to go in to say he knows the family, and then he starts shaking a bunch of hands and says, "Sorry for your loss. I was good friends with your father." And that is probably against. I know it's against the code of ethics for an attorney.
Attorney
you
to
know,
do that,
So
yeah.
we do have to be careful of that.
Yeah.
Maybe reach out to like the probate attorneys or something like
Right.
that. And see who normally does a lot of probates, because
And say, if you forge a relationship with that real estate agent.
and you know
then
that
they'll
scene I'm
start-
talking about. Yeah,
Yeah.
great scene there. So
Sorry for your loss. That's going to be a big house for you to live in alone.
If you need any help cleaning it out,
here's my card.
staging it, and selling it.
There was also a Robin Williams movie where he was a car salesman. Do you
Yes,
remember this?
yes, I
and
do
he
remember
tries
that.
to sell a car to the widow in the limo on the way to the
I don't
cemetery.
remember that.
Yeah,
That's funny.
yeah.
Related to that, divorce attorneys.
Yep.
Oh, good one.
That's a good one.
Yeah.
Yep.
Could probably reach out to them. Not only the divorce attorneys, but sometimes the divorce attorneys can't agree to who's selling the house.
Right.
So they might have a mediator involved.
Yep.
Right.
You might want to get to meet them.
Well, there's another tack we could take. Start having an affair
Right.
Okay.
Get
with people
divorced.
to cause the divorce.
Yes.
Oh, I got you.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
So we're on a crusade.
right.
All
Right.
right.
Right. Since I'm in your bedroom anyway, let me give you some tips on how we can move this albatross.
Leave it to Tony.
Remember the New Jersey couple we talked about? Where,
yeah.
where
They
just didn't want to
overpriced
get the house
it. Yeah,
sold
yeah,
because
yeah,
they had
'cause
a place to go to?
Yeah. They were having an affair.
No, but like,
I love the house. The bed seems to be rumpled.
How come we can't get this sold in this market? Everyone else is selling.
but a real estate agent would be smart to hook up with divorce attorneys
Yeah.
because typically, if you're getting divorced, but husband and wife are not going to agree on the
Right.
real
Sale of the house.
Right,
yeah,
right,
yeah,
right.
sure.
Well, the real estate
real
agent,
estate
you know,
agent, right.
even though it benefits them both to pick a good
Sure.
real estate agent, but so yeah, the
So our friend
brokers-
John Maroney's doing a lot of lending with the divorce community.
Well, he has a little niche going on.
He has a niche going on, and his suggestion, it's not like you just call up the divorce attorney, hey, I want to start. There's a lot of rapport, a lot of trust going on. Here's another one, absentee owners, because they don't need to buy somewhere else. So tracking down absentee owners, and there's a good trick to that.
What's that trick?
We're going to go down to the town hall.
We are.
Well, not us personally. No. We're busy. We're busy.
A representative.
A representative of us.
Yeah.
Yes. You go to town hall, anyone who's getting tax bills sent elsewhere
Right.
means they don't live there.
Right.
And is that public record?
Public
Yeah.
record.
There's nothing.
No,
Nothing
devious about that.
Nothing
unethical,
devious about
nope.
that as opposed to the other ones we've been talking about. Right. So that's a good one.
Right.
Another one might be talk to someone who owns a 2 or 3 family. Maybe they don't want to leave, but they want to kind of cash out a little bit. Maybe they convert to condos.
Yes.
Hey.
So in Somerville, you
Say,
have
wait a second.
in Somerville is a perfect example,
Perfect
right?
example.
Of 3-family homes,
Yeah.
right, or more, right?
Yeah.
3 or 4 family homes.
Yeah.
You condominiumize them, and it's like almost quadruples your money.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah.
Because then you sell each condo
For
unit.
probably what you.
Look what he's thinking about.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh,
I don't know if you see the smoke coming out of my ear.
I kind of did. I smelled it, but
You could sell your little condos there for big
No.
money, but we're ways off.
The only
Well,
stumbling block is a wife.
she won't giggle about it anyway.
I mean, would you
so-
have to tell her?
Maybe not.
All of a sudden, it's condoized, and you got people downstairs, and
Yeah,
you
yeah.
got a big check in your account.
And he doesn't come home from Aruba.
Yeah. The other one is foreclosure lists. I know we
yeah.
don't have as much foreclosures now, but you actually can go down to land court, and they always have to send out a Soldiers and Sailors Act to make
Right.
sure you're not in the armed forces. They don't want to foreclose on you if you're.
If you're in the
That's only fair.
military.
Yeah.
Sure.
So they always send that out. So that's usually the first tip-off. There's a foreclosures coming down the road. So I know foreclosures aren't as big now, but they are.
It's a thing.
It's still a thing.
It's a little thing, yeah.
5 or 6 years ago, we had a ton of. We had a lot of people looking into short sales. 'Cause
Yeah.
it's probably a little easy to.
And a short sale is you selling for less
You have to negotiate with the
Negotiate.
bank
Less
that has
than what's owed.
what's owed.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it was a little niche that we had. We did a great job with it,
Right.
and I believe that it served a good purpose to the community, right?
Yeah.
Getting people out in the easiest fashion,
Right.
with their pride.
Because a foreclosure really hurts someone's credit.
And the short sales hurt it a little bit, but it was also a pride thing to these
Right.
people.
Because they
A
can
lot of-
control it more.
Right.
A foreclosure, you got to pack your bags, you're out of here.
Yeah.
For the short sale, you're still selling.
You
You still
you're
dictate
able
a lot of it.
Right. You
Right.
pack your
You
bags.
can pick the
and-
buyer and
Yeah.
Or,
Yeah, there's definitely some more grace to a
Right,
short sale.
right.
than-
Right. So the long and the short of this episode is someone else's misery can be your gain.
Without a doubt.
I think that's a nice tag.
I like
Yeah.
that
Right
tag.
there. Yeah.
Chrissy, what do you think about
Hashtag,
that?
Get that, Chrissy.
Yeah.
Sounds great.
Yeah, sure. Always think.
Your misery is our gain.
gain.
Yeah,
Right,
yeah.
right.
Kinda-
Don't worry about it.
Right.
Why should everyone
Right.
be upset?
Right. Just because you're miserable doesn't mean the rest of us shouldn't be happy. think about it globally. Think about outside yourself. Sure, you're going through a divorce. You lost a loved one. Someone else could use your house.
Right.
I think I just wrote your first commercial.
So, all right, so you're
outside the
promoting affairs
Yes.
and you're promoting
Divorces.
divorces
And death.
Wakes.
and wakes,
Yeah.
deaths.
Good, lot of-
Because part of the segment of the community is gaining by that.
Sure.
So everyone should
Yeah, yeah.
lose. Is that what you're thinking?
Yeah, just leave a stack of your cards like on the corpse, like in the box. So when people nail in there, you go, oh, I'm
Turning Rick Carter.
I'm gonna miss him. Oh, wait a second.
I'm going to sell my house.
All right, we're
With
done.
that in mind,
We're done.
Thank you for joining us on the Real Estate House
so,
Party.
so much for being serious.
Yes,
We
and
gave it a
please,
shot.
And please direct all your inquiries and complaints to Carter Law. I had nothing to do with it.
Don't ask for me.
781-944-9222. Thanks for joining us here on the Real Estate House Party. Kathy Holtshouser, Ed Sullivan, Chrissy, and Tony V.
Good to be back.
Good to be back. See you next week.
The views and opinions expressed by the hosts, guests, or callers of this program do not necessarily reflect the opinions of the Studio 21 Podcast Café, the United Podcast Network, its partners, or affiliates.